Today we're going to be replacing this fence with a 6-foot privacy fence. One, because the highway's right here. Two, I don't want my dogs to get out, and my grandson needs to be safe. One major reason for this is the latches are just too low. My grandson can reach them easily. And the first thing we need to do is get this thing out of here. The trusty Sawzall is going to do that for me. One piece down, a couple more to go. Now with the fence sections removed, the posts need to go. They did not put these very deep in the ground, which I don't understand because of the frost. Mine will be down the new ones where they're supposed to be. Not deep in the ground at all. Alright, I'm going to pull the rest of these posts out and we'll be ready to get some new ones in. I'm going to get started with this post right here. I'm going to move this out further because I need to redo the siding on this house right here, and I don't want the fence post in my way. So I'm just going to move it out about 11 inches and I'll put a small panel right here. I do want these holes as deep as I can possibly get them so that the frost doesn't push my fence around. Because this is loose sand, I'll put a little water in this hole so I can keep digging. Due to the fact that this is on a slope, I need to figure out exactly what I want to do here. That is about 10 inches higher than this side, so I can dig that side down a little bit or try to fill this side in. So I think I want to do a little bit of both. I'm going to dig this side out some and probably move some dirt over here and raise this side up. I'm liking this a lot better. I'm only about 4 inches with that little bit dug out. So I'm going to just fashion a little valley right there, and before I put the fence in, I'll put the grass back. It seems as though I have some overpour from the foundation right here. I'm going to have to do a little exploring and see what exactly is going on because I cannot dig a hole for a post right here. So I may need to knock some of that overpour out so that I can get a hole in the ground. Thanks to some help with my little hammer, I got this concrete knocked out of the way. We're ready to get that post dug. I'm going to use this 2x4 as a reference as to where to dig my other post hole on the other side. I've got it lined up pretty good here, and I'll have enough room in the holes to shift the posts later. I'll get that hole dug. I want my post at 70 inches, so because this one is the highest spot in the ground, I'm going to cut this one at 70 and level the rest of them off of it. I have a 2x4 down here just to assist me in this, and I will remove that 1.5 inches in my measurement. So I've marked it at 68.5. Once that 2x4 is out of the way, I will be 70 inches from the ground. I'm going to get this cut. With this post cut to length, I'm ready to get some cement in the hole and get this thing plumbed up. It's looking good with this, but I want to go ahead and check it with my 4-footer. I like that. Now I'm going to go ahead and wet this down. That's all we need. I'll let that soak in and then I can put my dirt back. With that post cemented in, I'm just going to go level with this 2x4 off the top of it and mark this post over here for height. Now I'll get that one cut off. With both posts in place, I've got me a string run across the bottom of them just to set my next post. That way I know all my posts are in line and I don't have any kind of wonky stuff going on. I'm going to set this post here and then 51 3/4 inches for my gate opening. So I'll measure off of this post to get my exact opening, but I'm really close to being centered in this walkway. I ran into a little slowdown by cutting a water pipe with my post hole digger. So I've got that all fixed, and here in a few minutes we're going to go ahead and get this piece of fence up. We're going to be using these hangers that are designed for this type of fencing, for the privacy fencing. They will screw right on like this. I'll show you once we get them all on. But I am going to fill this in and cut the bottom of the fence to this angle rather than trying to even it out side to side. I've got all my grass back in and dirt back in here, and I just want to measure how far I am out of level so I can know how much to cut off the bottom of my fence. And 2 3/4 inches, so I'll remove 2 3/4 inches from that side of the fence down to nothing on this side. We have our fence panel set in place and we've got one hanger on, and we're just going to go ahead and mark our locations off the bottoms of the fence boards for the rest of the hangers. When you're using these hangers, you have to remove a fence board. So what we've done is we've made 5.5 inches here, so this gets a full board. That'll get a full board and a small piece on that side. So we're going to get the rest of these hangers on, and then we'll get this piece installed, get our pieces back on, and this section will be done. Now that the hangers are installed and the fence is sitting in, we just put one screw on each side of the hanger to secure the fence. Then our faceboard will go right back over the top. I've got my water pipe all fixed, and I've got this small section of fence finished. Same process as this section right here. Just making sure that the top was level and trimming the bottom as needed. I'm ready to hang my gate in here, and I'm just coming right off of the bottom of these because that's going to give me the same top height. I scribed a line around and I've put these on the post, and I've done the exact same thing on this side. This is my gate. I've got it all cut out, and I cut it 3/4 inch smaller than the opening, a 1/4 inch gap on the hinge side and a 1/2 inch gap on the latch side. I've also cut this center board 3.5 inches shorter than the outsides of these so that my 2x4s will sit on top of here and run right up to underneath of those. Let's get this gate hung in there so that we can get the framework built and get some hinges on it. Now that my gate's secure with these strips, I'm going to go ahead and remove this temporary blocking. With them out of the way, I can install my first piece of gate framework, which is going to be this 2x4, and it is going to come right underneath it here. I'm going to put one screw right down through the top of this, right here in the middle, and through the 2x4 to hold it in place. So because I don't have clamps, I've screwed this block on here to pry this board into place. And just like that, we are good. Take this block off, and then I'm going to cut my 2x4s to go down and rest right on top of this bottom board on the fencing. I'll get them cut and then I'll show that to you. I have my sideboards cut and in place, and I've put pocket screws here to run them up into this one, and I've also done the same thing here so that I can put 2 screws into here. Those I will not be able to put in until the gate is complete and I can open the gate up. Before I secure them in place, I'm going to go back around to the outside and put 2 of my fence boards back on just to help hold everything in place. I should be able to feed this down through here without much problem at all. I'm going to secure that in place with some 1 5/8 inch screws. And I want to be careful because this is where my hinge is going to be. So I don't want to put too many screws, or if any, here, because lag bolts will be holding that in place. Now I'm going to do the same thing here, but this one is going to require a small strip. I haven't cut that yet, but I'm going to get the big one in. With everything locked in place, we're going to go ahead and get our pocket screws in. I've also got pocket screws down here to lock the bottom of the frame to this side rail. Alright guys, with those screws in, that's all we got for this time. Join me next time when we're going to get all this gate hardware on. These really have to be split into 2 videos. I will create a little playlist for them, and we'll get the gate hardware on next time. And not only will we get the gate hardware on, but we'll get in our bracing so that this gate does not sag. If you enjoyed yourself, click on one of the 2 videos that are going to pop up next to me, and remember to always respect the power of your power tools. We'll see you soon.